Well, good morning and welcome to Politically Unfiltered. I'm Arno Betts, your host, and a good Tuesday, June 9th to you. Today is election day here, primary elections going on, and today's the big day. We're going to see how Graham Platner, I keep calling him Platner, is going to work out here. I see on Facebook this morning there were multiple posts of people that are Democrats that I know personally, and they're all saying the same thing: do not elect this man. Don't elect him. And for all of you Democrats out there that are not going to be supporting Graham Platner, I stand with you. I don't want him to be the senator. And I agree with these Democrats that are saying that he's just not the right guy for this position. And I totally understand if you're a Democrat and you're going to vote for either Janet Mills or anybody else that might be in on that race. I don't know of anybody, but I totally understand that. You're a Democrat, of course you're not going to support Republican. Totally understood. Totally and completely. But that you don't want Graham Platner, I completely agree with you on that too. You know, I just don't know what to say about this guy. I'm going to try to say something positive. Okay, we already know all of the negative stuff, and a lot of it is allegation. They're not good allegations either. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen any proof one way or the other. All I know is, for example, Genevieve McDonald, someone else I know. And I've known her for a long time. And again, her and Holly Eaton, our representative, Holly, again, I don't agree with their Democrat policies. I don't. But on this issue, when it comes to Graham Platner, both of them, Genevieve and Holly, two people whom I may disagree with, but I respect them to the moon and back, they're seeing the same thing I am, that everything about this guy says do not support him. And I agree with them. I stand with them on this, and I hope they see this video and they know it's how I feel. And of course, I'm going to be voting for Sue Collins, of course. And I don't know what else to say. I just don't know what else to say. But with Graham Platner, the one positive thing that I can say without bashing him all to pieces is he did do time in in the service, in the Marines even, and I tip my hat to him for that. He did serve. I will give him that, and I thank him for his service. That's about all I can say, because there are accusations that he isn't even really an oyster farmer. There's accusations that he treated ex-girlfriends not good at all. There's accusations that he has been on a platform that is known to be used by child predators, basically. I mean, there's a lot of things that this guy has got being said against him that, I don't know. I really think that everybody should really think before they get in the voting booth today. They really need to think about who you're going to support. And again, I don't know what else to say. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, moving on. I was watching the news this morning, and I see that President Trump went to a basketball game yesterday there in New York. And of course, they had to emphasize that a portion of the crowd booed when his face came up on the monitors that they've got down there, the crowd would boo and all this other stuff. And everybody's got their opinion, and if they don't like Trump, they don't like him. But this is something that I can't figure out. I can. Now, since Trump got back into office, he has done a lot of things that helps you and me. He's gone down on taxes. He's gotten rid of a bunch of regulations. Whole bunch of different things that are good. And all of those things that he's done that are good are totally and completely ignored. Now, if you want to sit here and say, oh, this mess that's going on in Iran, he's caused the prices to go up on gasoline and oil and all that stuff. Okay, them are legitimate arguments. I'm not saying that. No one should be saying that. If they want to say that, they can. Me, I agree with that, yes. But I also believe in the short-term pain for long-term gain. Because if he can succeed in doing what he wants to do and gets the leaders of Iran to comply with a deal, and I know this 3 or 4 weeks or a month or 2 months, however long it's been, yep, the deal is right around the corner. That's getting a little frustrating. I won't deny that either. But I guess under the circumstances, to keep all-out war from breaking out, I guess it has to be this way, and it has to be taken one step at a time, and that the leaders of Iran have been threatening to do a lot of harm to a lot of different countries around the world for the last 40, 50 years. I guess taking it one step at a time, and if it takes a few months, then so be it. Nobody wants this, but we wouldn't be in this if Iran wasn't doing the things that they've been doing or threatening to do. And it's definitely a situation that has needed to be taken care of, and now the president is at least trying to do something about it. And what I'm learning from this, full disclosure, is I think President Trump is finding out what a lot of other presidents may have realized, and that's why they didn't do anything, that whenever you get involved in Middle East situations, it never gets straightened out. So if Trump does actually succeed in getting something straightened out, that's going to be nothing short of a miracle, in my opinion, because how many different situations have we seen over there in the Middle East? And I think what it is over there, I mean, I don't know. I've never really done a lot of studying of the Middle East and all of the different things that happen over there. But from what I can see is you've got all kinds of different groups of people, and each one of these groups have different religions that they believe in, and yet they're congested all in that one area, all around Iran and Iraq and Saudi Arabia and Jordan and all of them areas over there. And you must have 100 or 200 different groups of people that believe in different gods and different beliefs, and they clash. And it's like no matter where you go, you're going to run into one group that believes in this, and then you're going to run into a group over here that believes in that. And that makes this group not like that group. And then you've got the other groups that take this one group's side, and then you've got other groups that take the other group's side. Next thing you know, you've got nothing but a rat's nest of people just not liking each other. And I think that's why there is so much conflict over there, that no matter what one issue you go in there to try to take care of, it's domino effect and going to affect all of these other groups of people, and all you're doing is really just stirring up a rat's nest. But at the same time, if you don't do something, that rat nest just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And maybe every once in a while you got to get in there and try to do something. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I've never been, up to date on what they do over there, why they do it, how they do it, whatever. And I don't know if there ever will be a solution. I don't know. The only thing I can say in defense of President Trump and what he's tried to do is the fact that Iran has been saying for almost 50 years now, 45, 50 years, death to America, death to America. If they were to achieve getting a nuclear bomb, the two places that they would try to bomb is America and Israel, of course, and anybody else that they don't like. And they would do it on people who isn't bothering them. Now, I know Israel is bothering them, but there are other countries that isn't bothering Iran. But if Iran had a bomb, they'd blow them up and kill them anyways, just for the sheer purpose of it, because they want to be a superpower. They, and again, I don't know what their prime directives are, but they just seem to take an awful lot of enjoyment in killing a lot of people all at once. And again, I have no answers. I have none. But in defense of President Trump, he's hearing a country threaten us that has been threatening us for a long time. And there are even videos of Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer, all of these top dog Democrats that have said in the past the same thing, that something has got to be done about Iran. And even Hillary is on video. If you elect me president, she says, you elect me president, one of the first things I'm going to do is go right into Iran and basically take care of that situation. And you know exactly what she was talking about. So this has been something that was on both sides of the aisle down there in Washington. Democrats believed it at one time, as well as the Republicans. So there's got to be some substance to it, And just because the Democrats now are saying, oh, Trump is an awful, terrible, horrible person. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but you're full of shit. Because it wasn't but 10 years ago you people were agreeing with exactly what Trump was saying, and that it has to be done. And there ain't nothing pretty about it. There ain't anything good about it. It's just something that has to be done. And that this kind of situation is always a bad situation, but you got to deal with it. You got to take care of it. And I think that with what Trump has done so far as blowing up their military and setting them back and keeping them so that they can't advance, that right there is a plus. It's got to be a plus for the world, not just for us, but for the world. So I pray that Trump and his administration and whoever comes in 28 and 32 and right on down the line in the future, I hope that everything that's being done now makes their decision making easier when it comes to Iran. And I hope Iran gets the right leaders put into place, and that, just so we can all get along. I know that's almost like a pipe dream, but hey, it's always good to hope. That's what Obama always said, wasn't it? It's good to hope. And we always have hope, so chalk one out for old Barry. Now, let's see. I can't think of anything else, because I was sitting there reading Holly Eaton. She had put a post on Facebook this morning, and it was a article of the Washington Post. They had done an interview, I guess, with Genevieve McDonald, and she had basically explained why she believed that Graham Platner should be elected. And I'm going to take some time today and finish reading it. I read almost all of it, but I had to get going to work. I'm going to finish reading it. But it was a good article, and Genevieve was making some really, really fantastic points as to why she believes that Graham Platner really should not be a senator, and I agree. I absolutely agree with her. And I understand with the people who want to support Platner, the one thing that you really should think about is think about why you're supporting him. Are you really supporting him, or are you supporting the fact that if the Democrats don't get that seat, they're just going to lose power? I mean, if Graham Platner could really do things for your side, is he the guy to put in there? Is he, I guess what I should say is he really the person that you want in there? I mean, if you're going to want to have that seat and to be able to have that power, you got to have someone in there that can be responsible. And I think that because of all of this baggage that comes with Platner, if I was a Democrat voter, again, I would have to stand with Hawley and Genevieve. They're making a very good point that this guy, you know, all of these accusations, if they turn out to be 100% completely true, then that would prove to me that he's a very irresponsible person. And would you really want someone to get a seat of power like that and be that irresponsible? That's really what you Democrat voters need to think about if you're going to support this guy. And I really think that you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. And I guess if I was a Democrat, I'm trying to put myself in that position. If I was a Democrat, I believe the only other option you have is Janet Mills, because she's still on the ballot, right? I don't know if there's anybody else or not, but I would say that, you know, if you were going to support anyone, you should support Janet Mills, because she just did 4 years of governorship, 8 years, 2 terms here in Maine as governor, and I'm even going to admit it, in her first term, she did some things that I agreed with. I did. The first thing that comes to mind was that electric cable that was coming down from Canada, and it was going to go through Maine and go into Massachusetts, and she was okay with it going through the state of Maine as long as Maine could tap into some of that electricity and have some of it to help with our costs. And apparently the people that were putting this together and doing this, well, they didn't want to do it. They weren't. They wanted to be able to just run the line through Maine, but not allow Maine to have any of that electricity. And she was like, "No, we're not going to have it that way. No." And I stood with Janet Mills on that. I think she made a good decision on that. And there was other things that she did too that I agreed with. I couldn't believe it. She was a Democrat and is a Democrat, and I expected her to take certain positions because of her being a Democrat, and I got to admit it, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. My expectation was totally and completely obliterated on certain issues. Then there was other things that I didn't agree with, and then in her last term, she really disappointed me on a lot of things. But without getting into that, I still think that if it's just going to be Platner or Mills, go ahead and vote for Mills. But I want Susan Collins to win. I don't want any Democrat to win. I'm a right winger. I'm guilty of it, and I don't mind. I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be a right winger. I used to be a left winger, but I ain't one anymore. I can't. I just can't, because there's a lot of things that the left wing supports that I just can't. It goes right against my core values and principles, and I just can't. But all right, I've made this video long enough. My Lord, I'm going on almost 20 minutes here. I try to keep it short, but all right. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to comment, like, and share, and we'll catch you in the next video. We're going.